You know, I'm usually a pretty chill guy. It takes a lot to get me angry, but there's one statement that Harley people keep making that pisses me off to no end. So much so that I'm literally going to spend the next 3 days proving my point. Have you ever been in a Harley dealership and heard the phrase, "You can't tour on a Softail"? That is utter and I'm gonna prove it to you by taking this lowrider ST across Texas and back in the next 3 days. Now, okay, I know what you guys are probably saying. You're probably saying to yourself, well, Spite, Harley Davidson sent you the lowrider ST. It literally has ST Sport Touring in the title. So of course this thing can tour, but my lowrider doesn't have the big fairings, or my Fat Bob doesn't have the fairings. The bones are still the same as just about any other Softail out there. If you're out there thinking that you need to get yourself a bigger Harley so that you can go tour, I'm gonna prove you wrong today, and I actually gotta get going because I'm getting a late start and the sun's gonna set at 6:30 and I gotta get moving because my hotel is like 500 miles that way. So let's get moving.
Okay, folks, we might be negative 90 minutes early for kickstands up today, but we are officially on the road. We've got less than a half a tank of gas, and I've got my thing plugged into the map. So we're going to be heading out to Terlingua, which is, if you're not familiar with Texas, it's so far away from anything that it might as well be Mexico. We're going to go through Big Bend State Park. We're going to go through one of my favorite roads in America, actually. I believe it's either 170 or 169. It's the road that connects Terlingua to Presidio. And then we are going to go up into Marfa, which if you are at all familiar with Marfa, you probably are a hipster artist or you make fun of hipster artists. So there's actually a really nice burrito shop in Marfa that I want to hit up. So you might be able to say that despite the fact that we're actually setting out to prove Harley people wrong, which I'm, you know, always okay with. It's good to clear up misconceptions. The actual real point of this is to ride one fun road and get a burrito. The first job is to get the heck out of Austin, which is going to be plenty of fun given the fact that I'm doing this at like noon. So people are actually up and about. And as you can see, traffic is already building up. So I'm going to reconnect with you guys once we get out of town. In the meantime, enjoy the montage. Well, folks, we finally made it out of Austin. Well, Austin proper. We're still in the area, but we're out on one of the nice twisty roads that skips a whole lot of highway stuff. So we're just gonna have a nice little ride through the hill country before we get to 10, which, if anybody knows about Highway 10 in Texas, you know that it's basically just 4 lanes of more or less straight pavement. So there's not really a good way to get east-west in Texas that doesn't involve just miles and miles of slab in it. So I gotta haul the mail because I am currently, let's see what time it is. It is 12 o'clock and I've got hours to go. I got a long way to go and a short time to get there. So we're going westbound and down, baby. Oh man, Burt Reynolds, eat your heart out. Alrighty folks, just stopped at our first gas stop. We've got like 188 miles of range, so says the dashboard. But before we hit the road, I do want to take a quick second and shout out the sponsor for today's video, Flying Eyes. I actually just got this new pair of Kingfishers because, as you might remember, I ran over my other pair, and they actually wanted it for their trophy shelf because they like to show off the glasses that got busted up and survived. I always ride with a pair of these. They're super comfortable under a helmet, and I've actually spent long days in the saddle with these on. There's no pressure points or anything like that, and the nice thing is when it gets dark, you don't have to switch visors. You just take your sunglasses off. Way simpler in my opinion. So if you want to get yourself a pair of these Flying Eyes sunglasses, click that link down in the description below. You will get 10% off your order with the code SPITE, S-P-I-T-E, and you'll be helping out the channel and getting yourself some cool sunglasses. They're made here, assembled here in Austin, or well, back that way in Austin. We're actually in Johnson City now, and shipped direct from there. Bunch of cool guys and gals over at Flying Eyes, so support local, and yeah, Spite 10% off down in the description below. With that being said, we're going to be going out, what is this, 290 to Fredericksburg, and depending on how my tum-tum feels, I might stop at one of my favorite burger joints, Hondo's, out there, and get myself some lunch, because let's see, it is 12:41. Oh my god, I only have like 5 hours left of light. Oh man, I did not plan this out right. Alrighty folks, welcome to 10. This is where I will be spending the next 3 hours, I think, something like that. As you can probably hear, there is a wicked headwind that I'm riding into. It's unreal how strong this headwind is. As you get west in Texas, the wind blows like crazy. I'm actually gonna duck down a little bit just so it cleans up in my helmet. My windscreen is doing a great job. It's just that the wind here is so bad. It's so bad that even with the windscreen blowing it clear over my head, there's not really a whole lot you can do. I am doing like 90, so that doesn't help, but easily this wind feels like it's about 130 miles an hour, so that's fun. Feels like I'm thundering down the back straight at Coda. Welcome to Junction. Not a whole lot going on here, and I don't need to pull over, but I kind of want to, because A, my fingers are getting real cold, and B, once you get on the other side of Junction, there's not a lot of like reliable gas stations, so I just wanted to top off because I've got 59 miles left, which is the bottom two-thirds, maybe bottom third of the tank, something like that. One thing that I'm noticing about the lowrider, the bars are a little far forward. If I was going to use this for like proper cruising, I'd want the bars to be back like here. So I'd either want to get a little bit more sweep out of this or get some longer bar, like taller bars, and turn them down. I understand why this is like this, because it's supposed to be more aggressive, but you know, sport touring, right? For those of you who might be wondering, this is a little trick that I picked up when I was doing my KLR to Georgia, and it was a little colder than this because it was raining. Little trick I learned was get yourself some like nice warm winter gloves that you can fit mittens on the inside of. I actually have a spare set of mittens in here. So these are actually Climb snowmobiling gloves that I got when I was in Denver, and they fit just over the cuff of my jacket like that. And then you pull them tight, and you've got little warm mittens on the inside, and big, slightly more windproof. I'm not going to call these Climb gloves windproof because actually they're surprisingly not. They're not very good, but that should help keep the wind off my sleeves. And I still get pretty decent feel through the handlebars. Not great, but pretty decent. I forgot to shut my saddlebag. That was smart. Now I'm rolling down the road holding my saddlebag shut. Oh, god damn it. I had like just a sneaking suspicion. I was like, something feels funny. Why does something feel funny? And then I look back at my saddlebag and it's hanging open. God damn it. Okay. Whoops. How did nothing fall out? I still have both my gloves. Let me turn my music down so you don't hear it. I still have both my gloves and my rain pants in here. That's crazy. Okay. Whoops. Oh, how many Harley guys have made that mistake in the past? Started rolling down the road with their saddlebag open. Whew, okay. It is officially getting real chilly out there. I think, let's see. I got like maybe an hour and a half of daylight left, if the old daylight measuring trick still works. But between the wind and, you know, the high speeds here, so that I can make up as much ground as I can, I'm getting real chilly. So I gotta pull on all of my wet weather gear because it is windproof. Okie dokie, folks. Update. We're now just outside of Fort Stockton. I ran this bike down to fumes, baby. I had like 15 miles left of range, so we were getting real close. My chin GoPro died, so I lost that halfway through putting on all my gear. But we're fast running out of light, which is a bit of a bummer because, like I said earlier on, I really don't want to ride through the through the pass from Alpine to Terlingua in the dark, but I'm not going to have much choice. So I am 2 hours 20 away from Terlingua. That's 150 miles. And while I still have the sun, I'm going to be boogieing as quick as I can. I've been hauling 90 the whole way, and that's definitely why I haven't been getting much in the way of gas range. But, you know, it has been worth it. I've chucked a lot of miles down and gotten through a fair bit of them.
Alrighty folks, welcome to the morning of day 2, and as you can see, we are in the middle of nowhere, or if we're not, we can see it from where I'm sitting. Big Bend is actually right behind the camera. Big Bend State Park, Big Bend Ranch is that way, which is where we're going to be heading today. But before we do, I wanted to take a second and talk about how the Lowrider ST did on that highway slab yesterday. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was, you know, just general thumbs up or thumbs down. It actually did really, really well, better than I was frankly expecting. I was expecting there to be a little bit of discomfort towards the end of the day, but honestly, it did it with a plum. The only real bummer was that it didn't have heated grips, because when I was coming down 118 last night and it was getting into the mid 30s, whoo boy, was it getting really, really cold. But, you know, you just grab the head for warmth here and your fingers come right back. I will note, though, that this tank is only carrying like 4 gallons. I ran this thing down to almost nothing, and it only took like 3.9 gallons. And at 90 miles an hour, which a lot of folks are going to cruise at when they're on a highway like 10, you're burning through gas really, really quickly. You're stopping every 100 miles at least. That is the biggest negative I've found. Other than that, this thing did great. And the fun thing is, once you make it to your fun twisty road destination, this bike is way better on a twisty road than any of the road glides, street glides. This thing is going to be a whole lot more fun. Let's hit the road and prove it. Okay guys, now the plan today is to unfortunately not go into Big Bend. There are some cool roads in there, but I don't really want to pay 20 bucks just to ride through. And the speed limit's also really slow. So instead, what we were going to do is we were going to take this road, which is basically the one road that runs through Terlingua, and it goes all the way along the border, which, by the way, that's Mexico right there. It runs all the way along the border from here to Presidio, which is a little border town. But first, we need to go get some gas. I came in last night. Let's see where I'm at. A little over a half tank, I think, or right at a half tank. I could get gas on the way, but there's a gas stop right in town. Plus, it's kind of cool to drive through Terlingua. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend coming out here at least once. It's a pain in the butt to get out here if you're not in Texas. Nearest airport, I believe, is El Paso, and El Paso is like 300 miles away. So, you know, it's hard to get to, but it's really worth it. This is a really, really cool part of the country. And it, you know, it's one of those places that is so kind of wild that it doesn't really feel like Earth, frankly. So let's do a quick jaunt through town, get some gas, and then head out towards Presidio
and Marfa. And just in case you're wondering, this is probably, if not my favorite, my top 3 favorite roads in the country that I've ever ridden. Okay, this right here is the coolest part of this whole road. So I'm actually going to slow it down because you ascend this hill and then you come over a crest. It's so freaking cool. And there's a lookout spot right up there. Alright, you guys ready for this? Here it comes. Oh man, just look at all of that. One of my favorite views in this whole state, and it's mostly not of this state, it's mostly of Mexico. Oh God, it is so cool out here. Another thing I highly recommend, if you're in the area, there's a slot canyon right here that leads all the way down to the Rio. And if you get a chance, you really should come out and hike it. It's very cool. There are a couple of spots that are really hard to get over, especially if they're holding rainwater. But it's really just, it's a fun hike. I've done it once before, but we had to turn around. It's right there. Not sure if you can see it. There are a couple of spots where you really have to commit to a climb if you don't want to be stuck in, you know, waist deep stagnant water, especially if it has been raining. But if it hasn't been raining lately, those will dry out, and it's a really fun, cool thing to do. So we're not going to do it today, unfortunately, because I've got tracks to make and videos to release. But I'm definitely coming back out here with the KLR once the van's ready. And just like that, folks, welcome to Presidio. It's a fairly sizable town, like 5,000 people out here living in the middle of nowhere, edge of nowhere, basically. This is my last gas stop before Marfa. I could probably make it, yep, shoot, this is my corner. This way. Oh man, it's been a minute since I've been out this way. It says I got 130 miles. I think Marfa's like 100 miles north of here, but better safe than sorry, because if memory serves, there is sweet all between between Presidio and Marfa. So I'm gonna stop, get some gas, and then I'm gonna make the jaunt up to Marfa. And let's see, what time is it? Turn on, phone. I command you. Nah, I'm probably not gonna get my burrito today. I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow. So I've got my hotel booked, and I do have a little bit of work I gotta do. So I'll probably just boogie on up there, and you know, I feel like we've proved the point. So let's wrap up this this little experiment, shall we? Well, I did not mean to take the Harley off-road, but here we are. Okay, that sand wash is going to be fun because I can't counterbalance. Don't get stuck, 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 don't get stuck. Woohoo! Oh, man. Oh, there's pavement ahead. Oh, God. I swear, I did not mean... I thought this was just like a little through road. It was not. It was barely a road. Whoops. Okay, Lowrider ST. Official adventure test. Bad. Don't go adventuring on the Lowrider ST. Oh, God. I'm a dumbass.
Now, before anyone gets worried, I did achieve my goal and get myself a burrito. It was delicious, by the way, thanks for asking. I also skipped filming day 3 since it looked exactly like day 1, slabbing it back to Austin on 10. When I got to Marfa, I set up this whole nice wrap-up shot and then promptly forgot to turn the mics on and recorded myself talking to myself. Instead, you've got VO Spite here to wrap things up. And let's answer the main question of the video. Is the Lowrider ST capable of touring? Yes, and by extension, so are the rest of the Softails. In fact, bikes with smaller engines making less power are probably going to be better on gas than the ST is, so they may even have longer range. But let's take a second and get nuanced. Was it good at touring? Also, yes. The addition of the tall windscreen and tallboy seat, kindly supplied by Harley Davidson, made a huge difference in the overall comfort of the bike. The cruise control works like a charm even if you can only set your speed as fast as 90 miles an hour, and frankly, I prefer running navigation on my phone and music in my Cardo while I ride, so the barebones cockpit means nothing was wasted or redundant. My only major complaints are no heated grips made for cold fingers when the sun set, and the more aggressive sweep on the bars became fatiguing after 2 hours straight, but if you hop off the bike at a gas stop and stretch for a second, that goes away and buys you another few hours. Did I really need to spend 3 days and over 1,000 miles to prove this point? Nah, of course not, but it was fun, and if you've got a Softail at home and you're not touring because some old timer told you couldn't do it, just flip them the bird and hit the road. A huge shout out to Harley Davidson for sending the Lowrider ST to Austin for me to play with, and for Flying Eyes for sponsoring this channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later, and happy holidays.